Yeah, so of course, as always, this is a time of year that we get excited about because we get ready to head into the championship season. We get to go to the Pac-12s there in Stanford, where the meet will be hosted at, and of course, you guys know, or maybe you don't know, that we probably consider the Pac-12 one of the best conferences in cross country. Because of all the ranked teams here in that conference. So definitely give you a preview of what the national and regional meets are going to look like later on in the year based on how things shake down this coming Friday.
Robert, can you talk about both teams and what gives you confidence with how they've been performing this year going into that?
Yeah, of course, for our coaches, we kind of got off to a late start as far as getting them here, getting them acclimated. But then everything training wise has been going really well. Everybody is healthy, and we look for everybody to be competing this coming weekend. And so really excited, both men and women, on where we can go. This is kind of you kind of got a taste of some real what it's going to be like to be in the championship season, coming from pre-nats a couple of weeks ago, and so with so many people being on the line and a chance for us to see the championship course, so a chance for us to really test ourselves against some really good individuals and other nationally ranked teams, and so definitely a taste for what it's going to be like as we move forward.
Coach Bryce Bill from the Daily Emerald. I was wondering if you can speak a little bit more about what you've seen out of Coach Thomas so far this season.
They are as advertised. They're really solid. They're really good. Just good overall people. Good human beings. People that we're thrilled and excited to have in our program and our staff. And every day, just to see them come to work with a smile on their face and the things that they have at their disposal is something that is refreshing, and it is new to me to sit there and watch them play and tinker around with all the things that are here at Oregon. And so I think they've done a good job acclimating. I think they've done a good job as far as getting the kids ready to go and getting them to buy in. Sometimes these things are more mental than they are physical, just to buy in from a different voice and a different vision and a different outlet. No more just patting you on the back. So they definitely have to. The kids are being held accountable, and I think it's just a fun time of year for them.
Speaking on to you saying that athletes buy in, and no pun intended, they kind of had to hit the ground running
Mhm.
immediately going to the campus. Can you speak on to like how they handled their transition, like right from the moment that they came in? What was some of the first things that you saw out of them?
Just everybody, of course, almost like relationships. You got that honeymoon period, and we're probably still in that honeymoon period, just a little bit, just getting ready to get out of it. And those first weeks of practice, those first months of practice were just wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. The athletes sitting there and just listening, and you could just tell, like, we're doing what? We've never done this before. We haven't never tried this before. So little things like that have been the difference there in the first month or so.
What specifically do you mean by like we're doing what?
So for the guys, having to run twice a day, lots of double runs there, lots of stuff that has nothing to do with running. So lots of stuff there in the weight room, lots of stuff there with the medicine balls, lots of skills and drill stuff that they probably never have done before, or at least in my time, we've never asked them to do. And I guess this is my 14th year. So being here with Vin and then being here with Andy, just doing some things that they've just never have done before, never been asked to do. Not to say they can't do them, just haven't been able to do or haven't done. And so Ben and Helen just bring different skill sets, and they understand what it takes. And I just think just different all around.
What are some specific things that you've done to like help them feel at home here?
Just basically be available. And then, of course, I think I talked to Chris at one point in time about them thinking big and thinking outside of the box, and then bringing those thoughts to me and see if I can make them into fruition.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about the opposition, the teams you're going to face, specifically like Grant Fisher? What kind of a challenge does he pose, and does he get excited to go up against someone like that?
Yeah, as I was saying there, there's lots of ranked teams both on the men's side and the women's side. And when I say ranked teams, a lot of highly ranked teams there. They're in the top 15, top 20 in the country, are all in the Pac-12. And so for us to go up against those teams, it'll be a challenge within itself. And then you bring up Grant Fisher. Obviously, he's a good individual, and they also have a good team there as well. So the challenge is definitely there before us, and we'll have to go and tackle it head on.
How much weight or emphasis do you put on the results Friday?
Well, it's one of our championships, so of course we are going to weigh those results heavily, because this is kind of what we've always been about there in the championship season, and so new personnel, new lineups there, both the men and the women, and so that expectation, that philosophy won't change.
With so much transition on the women's team this year, what did it mean to have somebody like Jessica Hull back to kind of anchor that team?
Yeah, Jess has been phenomenal. She was someone that I leaned heavily on there during this process, this hiring process. She's someone that we shared a lot of information there and stayed in contact. And I ran things and bounced things off of her, and she bounced things off of me about things that she was looking for and things that she thought would be good for the team. And so she's kind of my liaison, for lack of a better word, from the student athlete point of view. So lots of good insight from her there. And then when everybody got here and training got going, she's definitely been one of those pillars there that have led those girls and kind of as a calming voice, because she's kind of been around and she kind of knows how things have been gone here. And then she's just as, like, she's new as well. She's a kid in the candy store, because the things that she's been asked to do I haven't been asked of her before. So a little bit of a honeymoon period for her as well.
Did she come back with any extra confidence coming off that NCAA championship?
Well, anytime you win a title, there's a certain air and a certain confidence that goes along with that. So I'd be remiss if I say that she didn't. But the thing about it is, she understands that that's just one stepping stone, and she's been able to continue to work hard and work her tail off this fall. Hungry, I guess I should say. Staying humble, staying hungry.
Coach, you had two USF runners, Isabel and Monica, come in. What have you seen about their addition to the team so far and their connection to your coach?
Just like the other transfers that we get in my tenure here, they're just good people, really good girls, really humble. Sometimes I wonder if we spoil our kids here on our team too much, and then to get transfers in that haven't been exposed to this, it's just interesting to see their take on things, and they have a different take than most. And so with them being from other countries as well, they have a different take that will be different from our American kids. So just humble, happy to be here. Kids comes to work every day, happy just to be here, happy just to go and work.
Did they kind of serve as like the student connection from student athletes to
Not so much, because Helen said that she does things differently, or has done things differently this year as well, just because she has to get to know them as well.
You said you guys got off to kind of a late start this year. Do you feel like you're back on track, or you're back on schedule, or you still feel like you're running a little bit behind in what you need to play?
When I talk to those coaches from a training perspective, they probably feel like they're probably 10 days behind from where they would be. We probably feel like, or that we should have had one more stern test in there as far as meets is concerned. We had those couple of meets here that were not as stern as they could have been, and then you go into pre-nats and you get a really stern test with a lot of people there on the line. So would have liked to had one more in there from the feedback from those guys.